It was very interesting. So we ended up upon this round building, and it was red. And I said, wait a minute, isn't this building? So we finally found our way. It was about three round buildings connected together, so they formed like a big, almost like a flower. And we got to where we found the gate, and next to the gate was the words in Devanagari script. Devanagari script is used for the Sanskrit language, but also for Hindi. I know Sanskrit, but I don't know Hindi. So I was able to read it, and it said Shri Shri Anandamaya Ashram and Kali Mandir. So we get to the gate, and the gate's locked. So we look around. We decide to make a mental note how to get there again, because we thought we'll go the next day or even that night, because this is at an odd time, say 4 p.m. or something like that. Um, and as we're walking away, this sort of rotund fellow, big belly, huge beard, bigger than my beard now. It's like wide, and his hair was kind of curly and wide. And he came out and spoke Hindi, and my friend talked with him for a minute. And he said, I can see that you want to come inside, so I'll unlock the gate, I'll unlock the temple and let you inside. So he did. Turned the lights on, he lit incense in the mandir, everything. And then he opened up and unlocked the meditation hall, which has a huge statue of Ananda Mayama, who has become one of my favorite saints in the Hindu system. Um, and so we go inside the temple, and it's a small Kali, maybe a foot and a half tall, not very tall. Sit down. I did my bow to her. I had my hands in a prayer, and I said a prayer, and then I ended up looking inside at her eyes. And when I saw her eyes, I did the same thing. Whoop, I blooped out. Only this time we were sitting, so I ended up sitting there. It might have been like 45 minutes. And then I sort of came out of it and came back to. Um, I noticed my friend was still sitting there, so I just left him and I did a parikrama where you walk around the god, and then I went outside and sat out there, and they came and asked me if I wanted chai, so I said yes, so they went away to make the chai. And maybe 15 more minutes, my friend came out, and he said, so, is that what happened to you in Varanasi? And I said, so did you blank out and your kind of mind just went empty and you sat there like that and had this major meditative experience? Is that what you just did? Is that what happened to you? And he said, yes, it's what happened to me. And we ended up not being able to discuss it. So we talked about it some weeks later. But it's just interesting to have that experience and be so open, because you once you've had an experience like this, you want it to happen again because you want to figure out what it was, what was going on. These aren't experiences we're told about in the West. They're not, when you discuss or when you discover that there were kind of ecstatic saints in the Bible and stuff too. Um, they don't treat them the same way as they do in India. India reveres these people and sees that they have touched God, um, and they have more of a system built around honoring their teachings and stuff like that. So it's very beautiful. And I don't know, it just totally blew my mind. And see, even thinking about it, I kind of go empty. And I thought, no, you got to keep talking. You get really into a space where you realize there's more going on. And when you realize that, then you kind of want to dedicate your life to figuring that out. And my dedication kind of ended up being built around Kali because my experiences first happened with her. So I tend to lean my teachings toward looking at her. And it's a very deep path to follow her, a very hard path, because Kali means Kala means time. It also means dark, black one. But it really means time. And so what happens with time? Everything is destroyed. The most sturdy building that's been built will, with time, fall and crumble to pieces. The strongest man that you've ever met, the sturdiest woman that you've ever met, um, their physical body, this, is going to die. It's going to die. And Kali is all built around dying. That's why you worship her in the cremation grounds, because you're constantly, consistently worshiping impermanence. You're letting go and surrendering at a level on a daily basis, sometimes on a moment to moment basis. It's hard to explain, but it's interesting to contemplate because it's not something that's very common to people who did not get raised in India. And even nowadays, it's not as common as it used to be because there's a lot of westernization going on. There's a lot of focus on schooling for the young people, on not on their spiritual heritage, not in all systems, because all of the people I know are very spiritual and take their kids to temples and teach all that stuff. But there's still a lot of modernization in the bigger cities, more so, not so much in the smaller areas. But anyway, there you go. I have another story or two built around Kali that have happened to me. There's many, 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 many more tiny ones, but there's another huge, huge one. I wrote about it. I've written about it recently, actually, on medium.com, and I've written about it on Facebook whenever it happened. But I think I'll make a video of this. I won't make it today because it's a little bit of a deep experience that I don't need to relive as often because it took me to a very interesting place. Anyway, that's enough of that. Okay, go away. Have a great weekend. Maybe I'll make another video this weekend. Maybe I won't, but let's see. Ciao.